Hello friends, today we'll be discussing the health benefits and the health risks of cashew nuts. Cashew nuts is one of the most common and perhaps one of the most tasty of the dry fruits which very commonly people tend to consume. People also take it along with other snacks, people take it along with other juices and smoothies and other stuff also, and people take it as a snack for beverages also and for alcohol also. So it's a very common snack. People should understand what exactly is the health benefits and risks whenever you are taking cashews. It is considered a useful dry fruit if at all take it in a specific proportion. But once the consumption of the cashews increases beyond that specified limit, which is usually defined as 28 grams or 1 ounce per day, then the risks start to increase. So we'll be discussing what exactly are the health benefits of cashews and what exactly are the health risks of cashew nuts, so that you can develop a better understanding whether you should consume it or you should avoid it. First, we'll be discussing the benefits of cashew nuts. In terms of heart health, it contains a lot of monounsaturated fatty acids and polyunsaturated fatty acids, which can help in lower cholesterol levels if at all taken in a specific proportion. If the dosage increases, then it's basically an oil containing source, so it will increase the calorie consumption and overall it will be of high calorific value, and it will be not very useful if at all taken in a high quantity. Next, similarly applies with weight management. If at all you take it in a small quantity, it helps in the form of fibers and proteins, which makes you full and reduces the calorie intake, which helps in weight management. But if at all excess amount of consume and not being a very tasty snack, it is sometimes very difficult for people to control the urge of taking cashews, because it's not something which people are taking for just for health benefits. It's something which people are taking as a snack or something which suits their taste or which is very palatable. So overconsumption is much more likely with cashew nuts as compared to any other source of fiber or any source of vegetables and all. If at all we ask you to take high amounts of protein containing vegetables or protein containing fruits, the overconsumption in these cases are much less likely as compared to anything which is more palatable and more tasty like a cashew. So the chances of overeating and chances of obesity development and chances of weight increase is much likely if at all it is overconsumed. So for weight management, at least I don't recommend it as a good weight management tool. Next is bone health. It contains a large amount of calcium and magnesium, which helps in decreasing osteoporosis. So elderly patients can take it to improve their bone health. It is a good source of vitamin E, which can reduce the chances of developing ill health pertaining to any eye problem, and it can also reduce the chances of age-related macular degeneration. It can improve the blood pressure of the patient. If at all it is taking in a small quantity, it can reduce the blood pressure of the patient, because it has an extra amount of potassium, which is helpful in decreasing the blood pressure. And it also contains some anti-inflammatory products and some antioxidants, which can scavenge the free radicals and decrease the cardiovascular risk problems and the health-related risk problems, which are more often related to these free radicals. Now, what are the risks of taking cashews? The most important and the most valid problem is that it is a high source of calorie. Usually 28 grams or 1 ounce of cashew contains 157 calories. So if at all, even if you take 100 grams of cashew, you are providing yourself with 600 calories almost. So 600 calories, if at all you are counting in terms of your daily dietary intake, then it was almost 50% of your total dietary requirement. That means even if you are taking 100 grams of cashew, you have to stop 50% of your daily diet intake, and all other foodstuffs have been to be curtailed if at all you have to restrict your calories. Otherwise, it will just be a free source of empty calories, and it will help you to put on more and more weight. Besides, very often it is seen that cashews are taken with extra amount of salt. So very often it is seen that because it makes them more tasty, cashews are usually fried in oils. And these oils, if at all they are added to the cashew nut, the oil consumption of the patient increases, the calorie consumption increases, and overall the health hazards to the patient also increases. So cashew itself is a problem, but the party it comes together with, or the added amount of salt and oil and other food stuff and snack food which usually comes along with that cashew nut, and sometimes it adds as a additive thing in terms of alcohol intake and in terms of smoking also. All these problems usually become a cumulative health hazard for the people who are over consuming it. That is why it is recommended that it is not a very healthy thing to consume this, at least in large quantities, and for people who are not able to restrict themselves to less than 28 grams per day. Next is cashews contains high amount of oxalates, which are important in forming renal stones or kidney stones. So people who are prone to a kidney stone should not consume it too much. It can lead to allergies. So people having any allergic reactions to any other forms of nut should avoid consuming it. Cashews are often roasted and fried, so I've already discussed that that comes with added amount of oils and salt, that can be dangerous. Sometimes it comes with contamination of aflatoxin, which is a fungus. Usually, this aflatoxin, if it goes inside the body, it can cause liver damage and can increase the risk of liver cancer. And cashews also contain phytic acid, which can combine to minerals and reduce the absorption of the minerals. And if at all they are taken along with other food products, it can reduce the mineral absorption and thereby creating mineral deficiencies. Overall, cashew contains 157 calorie in every 28 grams. 5 grams proteins are there, 12 grams of fat are there, 9 grams of carbohydrate are there, which usually includes 1 grams of fiber and 2 grams of sugar. The vitamins and mineral content is vitamin E is 1% of the total recommended dietary allowance for the entire day. Vitamin K is 9% of the RDI. Copper is 28% of the recommended dietary allowance. Magnesium is 20% of the RDI. And phosphorus is 13% of the recommended daily intake, which is recommended for these foodstuffs. So it is a good source of vitamins and minerals, decent source of protein, but large amount of fats and large amount of carbohydrates are available, and it gives you a large number of calories. So if at all overconsumed, it is more detrimental to the health of the patients, especially when you are talking about heart patients, because heart patients already have multiple blockages. They are prone to develop more blockages if at all they overconsume such foodstuffs and snack foods. So that is why, if at all we are talking about heart patients, it is very often recommended that you should curtail the consumption of cashews, and it is not considered to be a very healthy nut if at all the consumption is exceeded. Yeah, the overall consumption is exceeding the recommended amount of 20 grams per day. So in this topic, we have discussed the health benefits and risk of cashew nuts. My verdict is, as far as possible, you should try to curtail the overconsumption of it, because it is not a very healthy foodstuff in terms of the risk which comes along with it. The benefits are there. There are some benefits, but it is not very useful in terms of the overall package with which the cashew nuts come along. If at all you have any comments, queries, suggestion pertaining to this topic, any other topics on which you want us to make more videos upon, any patient related queries, you can write to us about them in the comment section below, and we'll be happy to take those topics in future. People who are new to my channel, I would request them to subscribe to my channel, as this gives us a lot of inspiration and motivation to continue the channel in future.